Another thing I really enjoy, because I'm an atheist, is avoiding religious nationalism. Now, religious nationalism doesn't always have to have a religious theme. It can be political nationalism, like white supremacy, neo-Nazi, any institution that tries to back up and tolerate and has an agenda that harms the marginalized groups in America. They can be lawyers and lawmakers. They can be principals and any institution that isn't religious. And then on the other hand, Christian nationalism is something that was popular in Nazi Germany too. And I don't want to tolerate any of that. I don't want religious people in my life right now because I'm trying to overcome the stupid and the abuse I've gone through. I don't need to heap more on my nachos already. And not only do I avoid Christian nationalism, I'm making videos, and my YouTube account is full of why this isn't okay. And I have enough material for the next 54 weeks of, making about 20 videos a week. And hopefully, by Christmas of 2026, all of the 1,200 reasons why I left church and the 130 plus reasons I love being an atheist, that will all be uploaded and done. Then I can focus on topics that are in the news. And I think Christian nationalism is a movement that has always been there because it's popular to be a bigot. I mean, racism in this country is really expensive. For the second time in a row, Trump has broken his record for the longest shutdown in American history. Twice. Racism and white man privilege has cost this country more than anything else. I mean, that's what the world wars were about. That's what most wars in American history were about. Racism and sexism. Seeing people of different groups and distinctions as inferior. And until religion sees everyone as equal, men, women, and everything in between as equal, that's why religion will die, because you can't maintain a majority because people don't want those things anymore. And only 1 out of 3 citizens in America support Trump or conform to the red pill ideology. We need to reject that white nationalism is a good thing, because white nationalism has always helped things like slavery and racism and bigotry. And not only that, they make sure that women don't have rights either. And it's all about protecting the family, while 1 out of 32 white men in that group harm kids or harm vulnerable women. We don't need a male god. We need to treat women and minorities with respect. And white nationalism, the symbol of white nationalism is the Christian flag. And if that causes people to storm a Capitol and trample people, we might not want that as something we hold as sacred anymore. Because when people start acting like passages from the Turner Diaries, we might not want to be there anymore. But that's my opinion. And if any of you listening have been in white nationalism or escaped white nationalism, put it down in the comments. I love hearing about people escaping from cults. And white nationalism is one of the biggest, most influential, bigoted groups in America. Because white man's religion, also known as Christianity, has always supported slavery. Hell, my denomination of Southern Baptist didn't even admit that slavery was wrong until 1995. 130 years after Lincoln freed the slaves. They don't see people as equal. They don't even see women as equal. These Christian nationalists, they throw out churches from their denomination for daring to have a qualified, experienced, dynamic female pastor. Like, who cares what gender your leader is, as long as they're qualified and they're wanted there. White nationalism is one of the 3 reasons why we haven't had a white female president or even a female president in my lifetime. And I don't think we ever will until I'm probably old and gray, because white nationalism pays billions every election to lie to the American people. Because the majority of violence in America comes from the ultra-right, conservative, Republican, God-loving part of America. The most impoverished, the most uneducated, the places that have the highest murder per capita are Republican, red, conservative locations. Because where you love your guns most is where you're most likely to be shot by one of them. And it's not a coincidence that Charlie Kirk was killed in a red state. It's not. So, the more conservative someone is, the more likelihood they're going to pick up a semi-automatic weapon. And there are some good people on the right. But personally, if you remain a member of a group that has the worst track record for racism, sexism, and mass shootings, that makes you racist adjacent. You cannot sit with people who have the same ideology as the Ku Klux Klan and not be a racist. You just can't be. You cannot be an ally of people who hate anyone that isn't male and white and not be a racist. My family is racist because they choose to remain in a Republican group. They choose to identify within a group that protects pedophiles. So no, you want to be trusted and respected? Don't be a Republican. Do not be a white nationalist. Do not be a Christian nationalist, because nationalism became very popular when Hitler was the leader of Germany. And we don't want to repeat that. There are groups in America that do, but nobody with 2 brain cells rubbed together wants these kind of things to be popular ever again.